So this is actually lesson 2.3. All right. So once you've actually finished 2.2, this one should be available to you. Actually, it's available right now. All right. The video to this is actually going to be put inside that same assignment so that you can refer to it back as many times as necessary. All right. I'm not going to go through too much, but basically the overview and the new skills are the things that you guys are actually picking up and what job you have been tasked with on this. So the very first thing that you actually do is open up the Google Doc that I already gave you, which is lesson 2.3. All right, and what you're going to be asked to do then is to work with the spelling check that's on it. I actually have one here. It started, this one's been completely typed up, but has had no changes done to it at this point. If I wanted to actually go in and make sure that my tools are actually working right there, I click on tools, go into spelling, and I can click spell check. You can see that there are no suggestions at this time. But what would it look like if I did need to make some? So I'll go down here and just add a couple more L's to always. And as you can see, as I go through it, I come back up, do my spell check like this, and he's like, wow, it allows him to actually put that many L's in always, and it still works. Well, the problem is that you can actually go through a couple different areas to actually view all this stuff to make sure that it actually works. And sometimes you are going to get stuck, and it's just not actually going to work for you. See, here it would actually underline errors. But as you can see, it does not see any errors. Now, the weird part is that if you started throwing other things into it, I say saves changes, and doesn't seem to see a problem with that one. So you can never really count on the stuff to work every bit of every time that you're on here. Because see, now I can right-click on this if I want to, and I can define or explore, which is another trait that we're going to look at in just a little bit. So put that one back the way it actually was and go back into our instructions. As you can see here, it says actually to click view, all right, and go down to, you see it says show equation bar, spell check, show spelling suggestions. Well, if you actually look back here and go into view, all right, only you have editing, suggesting. So see, suggesting would be anywhere most likely that if you were to actually add stuff in, you can see that there's something popping up, and there it's misspelled. If I right click on it, it's going to give me the spelling for it. Now that's actually in suggestion mode. You can go back into editing mode. Sorry. And with the tools that are actually available in there, all right, it will be able to help you out. I just turned on the outline, sorry. So if you go back into the instructions, go down, it says at the top of the document, type exactly what is shown in 2.3 figure A. This is important. You guys need to actually make sure that you type everything that's in there first. All right, so I'll page down until I get to figure A. And you can see that it is pretty much an exact copy of what I have typed here. That you make sure that you have all this actually typed first. A couple questions that come up from time to time is how do I actually get these things moved over to where everything actually lines up? If you're in here, the space that actually exists here is from tab. All right. If I was to delete this, and you can see here there's two of them there, delete those ones and delete that. To get these to line up exactly where I want to, you use the tab button on your keyboard, all right, that will actually shift everything over and allow them to actually line up. This is important because you want to make sure that things are actually drawing their attention correctly to the person who's actually reading it. Now back up to the top part, back up to number 3. All right, we've done that. As I just talked about, there was the tab key to help align those. Cutting and pasting. In our first step here in cutting and pasting, we're actually going to move the subject of senior class fundraiser. All right, we're going to cut it, and as it says here, position the cursor after the text where it says date, insert current date, and we're going to hit the enter key, and then we're going to paste it. So here we're going to take subject highlighted, all right, right click on it, we're going to cut it, move down to the date, hit enter, right click, and paste. Now you could also use the Control X and Control V buttons, as you saw there, to also do those. Those are called hotkeys. It's really good to actually know those, because sometimes you can control, sometimes you will only be able to actually use the hotkeys in order to copy and paste, because some websites will actually even block you from using the right click. It does not actually work at times. So you can see that we've actually successfully moved that down there. Now copy and paste. This time it says to select the text. As always, Hamilton High School is reaching out for your support. Right click on that one, copy it, position it at the end of the last paragraph, and paste it there. So we go back up, take that one sentence that they were talking about, right click, copy, go down to the last one. Make sure you actually put a space in, because you don't want something actually touching the period. Paste it. Now that that's on there, we can actually go back to our instructions, see what the next thing is. We're going to do a find and replace. Now here it says to find the text within the document, to replace it with a different text. All right, from the edit menu, go down to find and replace. Now you can actually come in here and go edit, go down find and replace. That'll turn it on. You can also use Control H. That will also turn it on. All right. You can also hit Control F and then hit these three little buttons, and that will actually turn it on as well. All right. So in this one, we're actually going to be looking for, as it says here, we're going to be looking for Hamilton High School, and actually making it just say Hamilton High. So to do this, we'll go in and go Hamilton High School, and then type in just Hamilton High. Oops. You can see I made a typing error there. Got that one fixed. And all you have to do then is click replace all. All right. And then in replacing all, and then close it out. As you can see, every place that it actually said Hamilton High School, now we're actually going to go down to the third paragraph and use the indent. All right, so in the third paragraph, we down here highlight the third paragraph. If you can't actually see it, you click on the more button, which is those three dots, and you'll see one going out, one going in. So increase the indent. When we do that, it'll shift everything in there over one, and go back in. Now we're going to define text. All right. In the same breath, we're going to also explore text as well. So we go back here. Define text, you can pick anything. They actually picked logistics, which is this one here. You can actually highlight it, then right click on it and go for a define, and it'll look it up for you. You can also actually do this straight through the regular website as well if you wanted to. You can close that one out. We can also then actually explore logistics, so it'll look up other things on the internet relating to logistics to help you out with it. All right, and then we go back into instructions one more time, down to number 10. We're going to actually center, align, and bold memorandum, which is up here. Highlight that. We go in here to our alignment tool, pick center, and go for bold. That finishes that one off. Then we're going to actually change the spacing on the to, from, date, and subject area to double, proofread, and then we're basically done. So we actually then highlight this, go back into the More button, pick our spacing, go for double spacing like that. Everything should be fine. After we've done that, we're actually going to click the Turn In button as opposed to Share. Make sure you do not actually share it. And that should actually conclude all the instructions necessary for you to be successful in this one.